I'm Giancarlo.
And I'm Felicia.
This is our review of
King of New York.
Yes, sir, King of New York.
You are a giant monster and you want to be King of New York. You'll smash your way through buildings and other monsters to become the king of the concrete jungle. In the box you'll find a game board with 5 boroughs of New York City, 66 cards. Find the 2 gold cards Statue of Liberty and Superstar and place them face up for all players to see. Then shuffle the rest to create a deck and reveal 3 cards from it as such. 46 tokens for the different card abilities which you'll place in a pool. 8 specially marked dice. Place the 2 green ones aside by the board. 6 different monster boards. Each player will choose one. They'll place their victory marker on 0 and their health marker on 10. 6 cardboard figures with their stand. Each player will take their matching monsters as the ones on their board. A bunch of energy cubes which you'll place in a pool. And 46 building tiles. Take these and place them all building side up. Then randomly place 3 stacks of 3 tiles in each of the borough zones on the board. The first player will be the one to have rolled the most paws on the black dice. He'll place his monster on any borough besides Manhattan. Then in clockwise order, the other players will do the same. However, each borough can only support 2 monsters at a time. So if the desired borough is already full, he must choose another. You're now ready to dish out some destruction. Become the first monster to reach 20 victory points or be the last monster standing, and you win.
Every turn has 5 different phases. The first phase is roll the dice. The first player will take all the black dice and roll them. He can choose any dice he wants to re-roll and does so. He can do this a second time, but is then obliged to keep the result. The second phase is resolve the dice. Here, you must resolve a fable, the dice icons you rolled, and you could choose any order to do it in. Let's take a look at what the symbols mean. The lightning bolt is energy and will make you get 1 cube of energy for each rolled. These will be used in a later phase to buy cards. The heart symbol is heal and will make you heal 1 for each symbol you rolled unless you're in Manhattan, where you never can use these icons. The star icon is celebrity and is only used to get the gold card Superstar. When you roll at least 3 of these, you can get it from anywhere on the table, including another player. It will give you victory points when you take it, and more on subsequent turns whenever you roll the celebrity icon. This broken building is destruction. This allows you to destroy any building if you have at least the number of destruction icon equal to its durability listed at the bottom right corner of the tile. If you do, gain the reward listed at the bottom and flip the tile over. It now becomes a unit that can potentially attack the monsters. The destruction icon can also be used on these units, but cannot be used the turn they come into play. The way these units attack is if you rolled the ouch, denoted by the skull icon. If you rolled 1, all the units in your borough will attack you. If you roll 2, all the units in your borough attack all monsters there, and if you roll 3, all units in all boroughs attack all the monsters there. Units do 1 point of damage each, regardless of how many dice rolled. Also note that if you roll 3 ouch, you gain the gold card Statue of Liberty. While in possession, you will have 3 extra victory points. Lastly, the paw icon is attack. For each paw rolled, you will inflict that much damage on other monsters depending on where you are on the board. If you're in Manhattan, you will do damage to all monsters not in Manhattan. If not in Manhattan, you will do damage to monsters in Manhattan. If ever a monster takes more wounds than health points it has left, that monster and player is eliminated.
The third phase is move. If there are no monster in Manhattan, you must move there. Place your monster on the 2 to 4 player space. When moving into Manhattan, you will score 1 victory point. If you're already in Manhattan, you move up to the second 2 to 4 space on the next zone up. Depending on which of these zones you're in, if you start the beginning of your turn in there, you will get a certain number of victory points and energy. Note that in a 5 to 6 player game, there is another space in Manhattan that monsters need to go to if empty. This is an advanced rule, but we suggest you play with it. If the spots in Manhattan are full, you have 2 options. You can stay in your borough or move to any other borough that does not contain 2 monsters. Note that when in these other boroughs, if you roll an attack, you will target the monsters in Manhattan. First, the 2 to 4 player will decide if he stays or not. He can move to any other borough not containing 2 monsters. And then if there's another monster, he can decide to stay, moving the 2 to 4 space or leave as well. The next phase is buy cards. To buy a card, simply pay its cost listed on the top left corner in energy cubes. Keep cards remain in front of you, while discard cards must trigger the effect immediately, and then the card is discarded. In this buy card phase, you can also spend 2 energy cubes to discard the 3 available cards and replenish it with another 3. As soon as you buy a card, you reveal a new one to take its place. You may buy as many cards as you want as long as you have the energy cubes for it. The last phase is end of turn. Certain cards' effects trigger here. If not, pass the black dice to the player on the left and repeat the process for the turn phases. Be the first to reach 20 victory points or be the last monster standing to become the King of New York and win.
King of New York is the first standalone installment of the wildly successful and famous predecessor, King of Tokyo. And it did a fantastic job of keeping all the beloved features of the first one and introducing new mechanics without straying too far from the original concept. They kept the great artwork and components of their predecessors as well. I only wish the victory point and health on each monster board were more visible to all players, instead of asking almost every turn how much life or points they have. Kinda ruins the little surprise of what you're planning on rolling. But not that that's a big deal, so only a half a point penalty there. The new mechanics, mainly being the building tiles, gold cards, and move phase, add enough depth to the game while still making it remain a family game that even core gamers can enjoy to unwind. The games are so quick too, they make it ideal for a filler or an all-nighter. Sure, there's some luck involved, but it's a welcome feature in this type of game, and you still have quite a lot of things you can do to mitigate it, through rerolls and cards. The choices you have each turn is also very well balanced, with that push your luck aspect that King of New York juggles so well. Player interaction is huge, and it's a type of game best played at more people. Of course, the elimination of a player early on is a downside in that department. But like we said, it might be another 30 minutes only when another game can be set up. And with the 6 different monsters that can be interchangeable with previous sets and the great variety in cards, King of New York has lots of replay value. Another soon-to-be classic to the gaming collection, we give King of New York 8.5 celebrity stars out of 10.
He's going to a rave. Look at his look at his glasses, the star and the glow sticks. He's all like,
that's the guy I always play with.
Tiesto's playing tonight. Downtown Manhattan.